everybody. Welcome back to another deep dive. Today we're taking a look at XPUs 10X from December 26th, 2024.
Sounds good.
As always, make sure to hit that subscribe button, share the video, all that good stuff.
Yes, please do.
Let's jump into it.
Let's do it.
So first up, I've got Project Infinity from Samsung.
Okay.
Now, this one is really interesting. They basically have all these teams battling it out to try to hack into Galaxy phones to improve security.
Yeah, that's right. It sounds almost like an internal cybersecurity Hunger Games kind of situation.
Yeah, exactly. What do you think about this whole concept?
Well, I think it's really interesting because it kind of represents a shift in how companies are approaching cybersecurity.
Wow.
Instead of just waiting for something to happen and reacting to it, they're being very proactive. They're saying, you know what, we need to be constantly testing our systems,
Right.
attacking them, finding those vulnerabilities before the bad guys do,
Let's say
It's a continuous cycle.
a never-ending bug bounty program, but their own employees are the bounty hunters.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
Okay, cool.
I think it really sends a strong message to their users, too, that they're taking this seriously.
That makes sense.
Especially in today's world where data privacy and security are so important.
But even with all these security measures in place, sometimes the hackers still manage to get through.
Right.
Like this next story, TechViews 10X is reporting that there's this new botnet
Oh,
that's targeting TP-Link and NR routers.
okay.
Kind of concerning.
Yeah, definitely botnets are never a good thing. What are the details on this one?
It seems like they're targeting some specific vulnerability in those router models.
Gotcha. So what can people do to protect themselves?
I think the most important thing is to make sure that your router firmware is up to date.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't ignore those update notifications.
It's like leaving the front door to your network wide open, right?
Exactly.
You got to keep those things patched.
And speaking of things that you wouldn't expect to be hacked, the European Space Agency.
Wait, what?
Yeah, they got their online store hacked.
You're kidding me. The European Space Agency.
I know.
Like the folks sending rockets into space.
I guess nobody's safe from hackers these days.
No, I guess not. That's kind of unsettling, actually, when you think about it. What kind of information could be at risk there?
Yeah, that's a good question.
And we're not just talking about credit card numbers here. This is a space agency. They must have some pretty sensitive data.
Yeah, blueprints, rocket launch codes, who knows?
Makes you wonder what kind of security measures they had in place.
Definitely.
You'd think they'd be pretty tight, but I guess not.
All right, well, let's switch gears a little bit and talk about some hardware news.
Sure.
So Tesla, they're joining the race for next-gen HBM4 memory.
Tesla, wait, the electric car company?
Yep.
What are they doing making memory now?
Well, they're not just an electric car company anymore.
That's true. They've got their hands in a lot of different pies these days.
All right, so this move actually makes sense when you think about their work in AI and supercomputers, especially for their self-driving technology.
Ah, I see. So HBM4 memory, this is all about speed, right?
Exactly. Ultra-fast data transfer rates that are needed to process all those massive data sets for AI training and autonomous driving.
So they're not just building the cars, they're building the brains behind the wheel, too.
Pretty much. And speaking of processing power, Apple's chip supplier Broadcom, they revealed that 3 unnamed hyperscalers are planning to buy 1 million GPUs or XPUs by 2027.
1 million? That's insane. Who are these hyperscalers?
We don't know for sure, but probably the usual suspects.
Yeah, Google, Amazon, Microsoft, that kind of crowd.
Exactly. Those are the companies that are powering the cloud, and they need tons of processing power to keep up with all the demand.
I can only imagine what those data centers must look like. Rows and rows of these chips just humming away.
It's crazy, but, while those giants are battling it out,
Yeah.
AMD's been quietly winning in the eGPU market.
Oh, interesting. I haven't heard much about eGPUs lately. Remind me what those are again.
Basically, it's an external graphics processing unit.
Okay.
So it's a way to give your computer's graphics performance a boost
All right.
without having to crack it open and install a new card.
So it's like a plug-and-play graphics upgrade.
Pretty much, it's super useful for laptops or desktops that have integrated graphics that might not be powerful enough for gaming or other intensive tasks.
So why is AMD doing so well in this market?
It seems like they've been focusing on delivering a good balance of price and performance.
That makes sense. Make it affordable and accessible to a wider range of users.
Yep.
Smart strategy.
And then we have news from China. This company's claiming that their 32-core processor can go head-to-head with a 2021 Intel Xeon.
Whoa, hold on, 32 cores. That's a lot of processing power. Are they serious?
It sounds like they're even working on a 64-core version for 2025.
Wow, they're not messing around, are they?
Nope.
I wonder how their chips actually stack up against the big players like Intel and AMD.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see some benchmarks and real-world tests. But, it's always good to see more competition in the processor market.
For sure, it drives innovation and keeps prices down.
And it's not just about processing power. Storage matters, too.
True.
SK Hynix, they just launched 321-layer NAND flash memory.
321 layers, that's incredible. What does that even mean for the average person?
Basically, it means higher storage capacities at lower costs.
So we're talking like terabyte thumb drives soon?
Maybe not thumb drives, but definitely more affordable, high-capacity SSDs.
Okay, so like 100 TB SSDs becoming commonplace.
Imagine that.
That would be wild. Completely change how we store and manage data.
And then there's this Mac Mini M4 docking station that TechView's 10X mentioned.
Okay, what's so special about that?
It has 3 memory card readers.
3!
3!
Who needs 3 memory card readers?
That's what I was thinking.
Like, are they trying to cover every possible format out there?
I guess so. It's like they're saying, hey, we got a memory card reader for every occasion.
All right, well, let's move on from the land of excessive memory card readers.
Let's talk about some software now.
Sounds good.
Blender 4.3 got a major upgrade.
Blender, oh yeah, I've heard good things about that software. Isn't it free?
Yeah, it's open source.
So what's new in this upgrade?
Lots of new features and performance enhancements.
Cool. So it's even better now.
Apparently, it's becoming a real contender against those expensive industry standard tools.
That's awesome. It's great to see open source software like this really pushing the boundaries.
Definitely shows what a dedicated community can achieve.
Absolutely.
And then there's this new laptop that TechView's 10X mentioned.
What about it?
It's the world's lightest laptop.
No way, seriously.
Yeah, and they talked about this jigsaw puzzle moment when the final design came together.
I can only imagine what it took to engineer something like that.
It must have been crazy trying to fit all the components into such a small and lightweight design without sacrificing performance.
I bet the engineers were pulling their hair out.
And then there's this idea of a universal processor.
A universal processor, what's that?
So it's a single chip that combines CPU, GPU, DSP, and FPGA.
Whoa, hold on. That's like combining all the processing power into one chip.
Exactly.
So it's like the holy grail of computing?
It could revolutionize everything from AI to high-performance computing.
But can one chip really handle all of that?
That's the challenge, right?
Yeah.
Designing such a complex chip and making sure the software can actually utilize all its capabilities.
Yeah, that's a tall order, but if they can pull it off, it would be game-changing.
No doubt.
So what about the Galaxy Ring 2 and the S25 Ultra colors? Any interesting rumors there?
Yeah, the Galaxy Ring 2, it's looking pretty cool.
What is it, like a smartwatch, but in a ring?
Kind of. It's like the more subtle way to wear technology.
Interesting. I can see the appeal of that.
And the S25 Ultra colors. Well, we'll have to wait and see what they come up with.
Yeah, those are always fun to speculate about.
Okay, we can't forget about the AI battle going on.
Oh, right.
Intel, they've got their new Jaguar Shores AI accelerator.
So they're still trying to catch up to NVIDIA.
It seems like it, but it shows that they're not giving up without a fight.
Well, competition is good, right? Keeps everyone on their toes.
Definitely.
So looking back at 2024, what do you think about NVIDIA's year?
I think they've been at the forefront of a lot of exciting developments. But they've also had their fair share of challenges and controversies.
That's true, but that's kind of the nature of the tech industry, isn't it?
I guess so. It's always moving so fast.
And constantly pushing the boundaries.
All right, so before we wrap things up, I want to ask you about fitness apps.
Okay.
What are some of your favorites? Any recommendations for our viewers who are trying to achieve their 2025 fitness goals?
Ooh, that's a tough one. There's so many great apps out there these days.
I know it's overwhelming.
But I think the best app is really the one that you'll actually use,
Right.
It has to be something that you enjoy and that fits into your lifestyle.
Makes sense.
So experiment, try out a few different ones and see what works for you.
And be sure to let us know in the comments what your favorites are.
Yeah, we'd love to hear from you.
So there you have it, folks. A whirlwind tour through the top tech news from December 26th, 2024.
It was a wild ride.
As always, thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
It was a pleasure being here.
And don't forget to subscribe, share the video, all that good
Yeah,
stuff.
spread the tech knowledge, love.
And until next time, stay curious.
See curious.